Jeremy, if you're there, it looks like we're getting ready to come back here. I see pairings for game 2. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. Looks like what do we got going on here? That looks like one Michael Kessling. And I can see from the pairings thread that he is playing against Steve Baroni. So this should be a fun match.
All right, I'm back. So it looks like this is Mike Kessling playing map.
Yep. Right. And Steve Baroni is his opponent, according to the pairings thread. So this will be interesting. You guys missed it when we first came on. I am Bill Kafer. I'm here with Jeremy DePaulo, doing some off-site commentary here for the 2022 Match Play Championships, in air quotes. We are waiting on Game 2 to start, where we will have New Allies team member Mike Kessling playing against KTOD member Steve Baroni.
Some other notable matchups here. We have Desai versus Eric Hunter, Drew Lichtenstein versus Greg, so some teammate on teammate action again. Worst versus David Woods. What else we got? Charlie versus Lenny. So Charlie lost first round to Mike D'Amboise. So interesting, Mike's on map. That was not one of the decks he was talking about going into this tournament. So do you know why he made the switch?
I was hoping you would know. I know he tested with Drew a bit before, and I think going into this tournament, Mike said he was set on Bring Him Before Me. So I guess yesterday, some interesting things happened here.
Yeah, that must have been testing, and Matt must have been testing pretty well. Plus, Mike he has a ton of experience with map anyways.
Yeah. It's still a good deck. The recent errata is saying that when you deploy for Bout of the First Order, when you deploy your guy, you have to deploy him to a Episode 7 site to get the pull. So that'll be interesting. Alright, so Baroni on There Is Good in Him. So we got 3 out of the first 4 decks are not things I thought I would see.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, even map too.
So this should be a pretty good matchup. I mean, I feel like there's going to be a lot of interaction.
All right, so Mike on map, starting standard map things, Bout of the First Order, the Dead Speak, the map effect, which the name I forget it, and the Exegol site. Ray with lightsaber is going to be the resistance agent.
Okay, I will finish where you started. That's the effect.
Thank you. Steve on There Is Good in Him, presumably with 12 card start, because I don't see any other effects.
What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think we're going to have another matchup with a bunch of battles. Steve, I think, has the advantage here. You get to start with Luke on the table, right? Silver Gun in the chat saying it's tech for Rops and Black Sun. Makes sense to me. 2 decks I thought we would see. But yeah, Steve, just a handful of mains, right? Versus a map which is going to have some tricks, I'm sure, but also is devoting, 10 of its cards to space. The map's going to be able to set up a Drain of 2 at one of the systems, probably pretty much unchecked. Maybe you got to worry about like a Hanshui Falcon or a Landing Claw or something like that. So I would look for Mike to set that up pretty quick, and then look for his tricks. We had a lot of experience with the map testing against mains because prior to Worlds, when we ran the New Allies boot camp, we ran a lot of map versus commuting. So it's gonna be interesting.
And no Vader, so that'll be so Luke will stick around. He'll never be captured. This
Well, he's captured
I
by
guess
any
there are
Imperial. So
yeah, it's been a minute since I've played. All right,
that's fair.
a lot of red in Steve's hand. I can see already.
And I saw one character was Jedi Luke. So
that could be bad, could be good. We'll see.
I don't think he has to do anything right away. So he's got turns to look for activation and build his hand.
So we see Mike pull a finalizer. White border. And we know Mike is a fan of white border cards, so maybe that's why he decided to play map.
I wouldn't put it past him. I feel like playing white border cards. I'm going to play this map. Who was the drill sergeant for New Allies boot camp? I have to. It's got to be Brian Fred. Is the drill sergeant? Maybe Drew. Drew probably did the most yelling. All right, so Steve grabbing the boss mass chambers with Lisa. Mike setting up the Emperor at the Exegol site. Oh, he must already have the boss mass chamber. He grabbed the 2-2.
So he plays Dakar. Hold on one sec. I'll be right back.
I got this. Everything's fine. All right, so Mike also going for a command. Go grab whatever Resdoc's names is now. I forget his name. Oh no, grabbing a Grievous. So yeah, this will be a little slower to develop. Both players building their hand, building their board, building their activation. Mike just drawing one, finishing up turn. Grabbing the battle order shield so Steve doesn't drain right away. Alright, so Steve's got a boss nest chambers. He's certainly eyeing that recoil in fear. He's going to go ahead and recoil. Alright, so a little bit of that hand building getting rolled back here.
I'm back.
Mr. Recoil in Fear.
Oh man.
So Mike losing Grievous and the Finalizer. Steve getting rid of that hand that had not a ton of characters in it. At least has Anakin and Obi in this new one. Lisa again for the 2/2 back into hand.
Losing the finalizer is rough.
That and did you play the interrupt to pull the shuttle too? Loses that as well.
I'll be right back again. Sorry.
Sure. Mike with another command. That looks like a General Hux for Mike. The new OCS AI General Hux from last year. And Mike drawing a card with the Emperor, Steve drawing a couple cards as well. So into turn 1. Mike on his turn gets what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Has another command. This time it gets grabbed. So grabbing command is interesting for me because I feel like there's other things you might want to grab as the light side player here, but grabbing command, maybe Steve does have more space than I thought he might. Maybe he does plan on contesting a bit in space, so that'll be interesting to see. Command grabbing Allegiant General Pride, and then a bridge, or excuse me, an accelerate to get the bridge.
Yeah, back for good now. Sorry, wife was headed out. She needs some help with stuff.
You're good. We've got, we had a bridge come out. We had Jakku come out. Command got grabbed.
Mike still doesn't have space. Is that what I'm saying?
No, I mean, he's only got 10 cards to work with this turn anyway. So I think he's just going to try to rebuild that hand. He's got to watch out for another recoil, though. I mean, he's probably not just playing one.
Okay, so he did find Steadfast.
You guys are good at looking at pictures really quick. Steve trying to deploy Boss Nass and not finding him, so we'll get to take a look at his entire deck here.
Sort of. Mike's got it pretty low. It's pretty standard, though.
I was looking for blue and I didn't see anything, so we've got to speak here for the council chamber. Yeah, Brum, you're right, it wouldn't work, but I feel like Mike's already pulled 3 shields, right? He's got a Sense Shield, a Grabber, and Battle Order. I don't think he wants to waste another pull on a Senate Shield.
Here it is again.
Yeah, there it goes, right on cue.
I mean, do you have to grab this as Mike? I mean, I guess it's lost.
It goes lost.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating more than anything, I think.
Really annoying, yeah. Mike wearing some UGA paraphernalia.
National champion UGA, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that was interesting to be around. Looks like Mike lost all his space. And then on top of it, he's going to get Grimtashed.
Mike having a lot of fun this game.
Yeah. All right, that looks like a blue card next to the hallway, right?
Yeah, I think that might be the shuttle. Because I don't think you can play whiteboard or shuttle. Did get one card back with an Emperor, so he's up to 9 cards in hand now. Silver Glen, yeah. Mike just concedes the next.
Next recoil.
Yeah. I mean, how many of those do you think Baroni's playing? Probably just 2, right?
I would think 3.
3?
I mean, you want to. I think the point of that is to like get it in your opening hand and use it to cycle to find all your activation, right? So you want to play multiple.
Yeah, I think as Mike is, as annoying as it is, you're probably not too upset that he's kind of just spinning his wheels like that.
Yeah, nothing's really happening. And once Map starts going, like Map has the use pile pulls, I imagine they're going to be on the Jakku sites, so he'll be able to take advantage of those use pile pulls to rebuild his hand.
Is that the bridge hallway? Is that what you said that was? The blockade?
Yes. The blockade flagship hallway.
Draw 12 again? That's Mike?
Looks...
Probably what I would do.
What's up?
Probably just draw to 12 again. If you're Mike.
I mean, he's already got 9, and he can draw a card with Emperor, so I feel like you got to do something at some point, but you shouldn't do something just to do something. Is that Leia with gun in Steve's hand?
Interesting.
Clash, 2 clash. Maybe a 3rd clash? What's that bottom card?
I think that was impressive, most impressive.
Okay.
So Mike deliberating over whether or not he wants to play the shuttle. Okay, so he's playing the shuttle to the Jakku site. And download Kylo. Does he not have Kylo? Oof. Okay, good.
Look for that saber. That doesn't look like it's in there. He'll get a use pile pull here.
Yeah. Did you just take off and can you risk just having Kylo there with a shuttle? Against a deck?
He's got what? Opeld in hand too.
Well, you really don't want to get Flash and then just have your shuttle versus something, right?
The problem is a lot of times when we played this matchup, light side would just, drop something in front and pass, because that seems to be one of the ways you can play against this.
Let's see Hux for another use file search.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna fly up here.
Bastion likes Dofeld and fly up. Just Phasma. Pulls that with
He's getting all those
Hux.
use pile pulls out of the way.
Probably looking for the Saber here.
Yeah, I think you definitely want to have the Saber. There's
Dofeld. Let's see if he plays Phasma. No Phasma, there's Pride.
Does have the Saber in hand, so found the Saber. That's the Sand card.
Okay, so you did find the Saber. All right, good. And just leaving everything there, playing it safe.
Yep, and he's got what, 4 cards in his pile there, force pile.
Yeah, Gig on Sand is pretty good too.
I mean, you can recoil it, right? Once he takes it in hand with Sand, you can recoil. So Steve getting a bunch of cards here. We know he's got 2 Clash in hand. He's got an Impressive in hand. He's got a Mess in hand. He's got several people with Sabers.
But for
Just like
Steve,
15
you just try to get the ball rolling here. Just drop a bunch of guys, try to clash some people, and
It looks like he had about 15-ish force, right? So if you think maybe Qui-Gon and Obi and a Clash, is that enough?
okay, so getting an effect with so getting to draw their fire. So please don't
That
try
deploys,
to
right?
play draw their fire from deck. Plays it, okay, so
Steve's just all in on the degenerate cards here.
Bastion says he thinks he sees a weapon live in the deck. We'll see if Mike accounts for that. All right, so
5 for Obi, who's going to catch a barrier. But we know Steve has Impressive to cancel it.
well, it looks like it went through. Okay. Interesting. Qui-Gon.
7 here for Qui-Gon.
So Mike also has your beaten in his hand. Could be
And
some
3
interesting
force
battles
active
here.
still.
Could be a lot of tricks in these battles. Mike also has Cypher Darkstrike.
This is going to get bloody real quick.
Yeah. Especially now, like since both those senses are in the Lost Pile, you feel pretty good as Mike with all this red in your hand.
Alright, so Steve passed turn. Saved, I think it's 4 or 5 force. Has Obi and Qui-Gon sitting in front of Kylo, Hux, Dopeld, and Pride.
Mike also has Sense. So that's probably going to get Sense.
Sniper.
Grabbed and Sensed.
Deflection. Deflection gets grabbed. Sniper gets canceled.
Oh, he did not sense that. Interesting.
So FN 2199. Here's the you are beaten. Presumably on Qui-Gon.
Okay, Steve going for. Yeah, does Mike not have Sense in hand? I thought he did.
I mean, I think you let the sniper get sensed and you want the you are beaten to go through.
But wouldn't you sense this FK pod combo so he doesn't get a Suji?
That's true.
Maybe he just doesn't have it. Maybe we're.
Yeah. Phasma comes down.
It's still going to be pretty rough for Baroni. Baroni plays Simple Tricks Nonsense, so he can't retrieve with Phasma. So I think that's lateral damage and not sense.
That makes sense. Right, so Mike battling here.
Makes Steve lose
retrieving.
1, but he can't retrieve because he has Coward out or Simple Tricks out.
This
Swinging.
looks like a swing that he missed.
Yeah, it looks like a miss because that was Grievous, which is a 1, and a Trooper, which I think is a 2 or a 3. Okay, so Baroni draws a 5, and Jar Jar, who I think is a 1, right? Jar Jar's a 1.
Jar Jar's a 2.
2.
So he canceled one of them with FN, most likely.
Or with his.
Like taking the Gick into hand. That's. And still drawing 2 Destiny. That's why I was confused, because he should only draw 1 Destiny if he takes that into hand.
Ray with Saber is the agent. Snippy.
Thanks, Bastion.
Okay, so Power and then Destiny. Those are his 2 Destiny draws.
Yeah, so Baroni preemptively Hoojixing here.
Yeah.
Pride will go lost for Mike and Dopeld.
Yeah, Obi's still
I guess it
affected
was
by your beaten.
Obi that was yabbed, right? Alright, so none of Mike's tricks went through, and Steve still got double clash. And a mess. I also thought it was Kwai who was yabbed. I guess playing your beaten on Obi makes more sense. You're more likely to have a second Obi than a second Qui-Gon. But I definitely thought it was Qui-Gon that he played it on.
I mean, it looks like Baroni does have a lot of good interrupts in hand, but I don't think he has another character with Saber that he can play.
Yeah, well, so Obi is still out, right? For this turn. So Steve's just gonna move Luke over and replenish his hand a bit.
Yep.
But then, and on Mike's turn, Obi also is still gone.
Yeah, Hayes is saying that Mike should have your beaten on Baroni's turn.
Yeah, because now you go through 2 turns where you don't do anything.
Yeah.
Down comes the finalizer and Peavy. And they're going to move over to... Oh, somebody's going to shuttle up.
Well,
Hux is going to shuttle up.
Move into
Move
Dakar.
over to Dakar.
So Mike feeling pretty safe there at the Jakku side, I guess.
So it's Phasma and FN, right, are the 2 cards under Kylo.
Correct.
And everybody's back in play this turn. For the time being.
Yeah, so now Baroni has a lot of options here.
Alright, so at the end of Mike's turn, it looks like, Luke is going to Nabrin over to the Jakku site, but that's going to get canceled by the Gik combo.
Now that clears the way for Sorry About the Mess, right?
There's some kind of beatdown, right?
Oh no, Mike's got the cancel for Sorry About the Mess too. Alright, cycling escape pod. This could be a pretty exciting turn here. I mean, both players have a lot of options, a lot of interrupts. Baroni reading. I will finish what you started.
Yeah.
I think he's checking to see if Kylo can cancel the battle or cancel the destiny if he's not in battle.
Or if you can cancel like a mess swing.
Yeah, or that. Alright, so he is clashing. I'm assuming he's clashing Kylo. Yep. It might be a tough turn for Mike, considering he just played Gik to cancel.
So Anakin comes down, but he gets barriered. And then Leia with gun comes down as well.
Yeah.
4 is Yoda. Hera.
Okay.
Four more.
Oh,
for Yoda.
Yoda.
I don't think I saw Jedi presence in his hand, right? Alright, there's a battle for free because of Anakin. So Mike loses 1, Steve retrieves 1. Anakin and Kylo both outside of the battle in this one. So that looks like a Leia shot at the trooper, which hits.
Yep, and Baroni probably gonna make it try to make it last here with Sorry About the Mess combo. But Mike does have the canceller for it.
Yeah, there's the mess.
Yep, and the imbalance to cancel it.
Steve losing Lando off the top.
Pretty clutch imbalance there. So if that guy went lost, then this is a really tough battle for Mike, but at least now he still gets an extra destiny.
Yeah, Steve's hand all of a sudden is very small too. Looks like he shot at Hera with the trooper and hit. Obi's gonna swing at Phasma. The first one was canceled with FN. And then this one's gonna get redrawn.
Yeah.
And then the 5's gonna hit.
Mike taking a card. I don't know why you would do that. Take a card out of sand.
Well, I think Steve's drawn too because of Hera. And he's trying to... I think Mike's in a position to lose cards right now. So Mike drew a 4. I didn't see what Steve drew. I think it's a 4. So Steve's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 18 to 20 power. Mike was what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11?
Yeah, the shuttle covers 5. So you might have to peel some cards here.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Okay, so I guess the shuttle covered it all.
All right, well, Kylo's clashed this turn.
Yes. But he'll come back at the end of Baroni's turn or at the end of Mike's turn?
At the end of Baroni's turn, because Baroni played Clash on his turn.
Okay. Pretty good for Mike. Plays Steadfast. And gonna move.
Yeah, ship dock here. That'll allow Mike to flip. Because he controls 2.
Yep, although
with resistance guides.
Although he doesn't flip. Mike
so back to
voluntarily not
Steve's
flipping here.
I think that is Han Chewie in Steve's hand.
Yeah, because Rey is the resistance agent, right? Not Luke. So
yeah, it was Rey with Saber. There's Han Chewie to face off against Steadfast, with Lando on there as a passenger. So Hux is forfeit 5, adds 2 to power of Steadfast. Steve battling here. Like losing Grievous off the top. So 5 for power, 3 for Battle Destiny, and a 1 for Battle Destiny. So 9 total. Mike draws a 4.
Was that the virtual Hancho Falcon or non-V?
I gotta assume it's the virtual. It's just so much better.
Okay, so this is Hux. That's all I've got to lose. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that confirms that it's virtual, because otherwise it would have been 3 Destiny as opposed to a Power Destiny.
Things looking pretty good for
Mike
Mike.
could flip there.
So, I know.
Would have had to pay 2 force to draw Battle Destiny.
He could have stacked the interrupt on his effect. Also, I don't think that Baroni would have been able to retrieve, right? With first strike? Or Trial of Power?
Yep.
Pretty big mistake from Mike, I gotta say. I mean, still looking good for him, but
No, Bill, he has not. I assume he would have just lost that, or he would have lost the battle where Kylo was clashed, and he did not stack anything on conflict.
I don't even see conflict. Is it over there on the glare?
I think that's the red card next to his use pile.
So both players forgetting their cards, so I guess it evens out. Because yeah, presumably Mike would have already stacked 2 cards by now, right? He lost the battle.
At least one, yeah. I think the one, the one at the site, and then that last one against Steadfast. I think he lost that battle too.
That's a pretty easy card to forget, though. Probably the easiest card to forget in all of Star Wars, when you say.
I don't know. Court damage is pretty easy.
That's true, yeah.
I think my most forgotten card is
Okay,
Hidden
so
Base.
looks like Steve moved his effect.
Yeah.
Next to Draw Their Fire. So drain 2 with Jakku.
And Kylo is back live.
Yeah, so Mike's gonna need to. Okay, Dr. Eaton's pretty good. But Brody does have that other clash, so.
Looks like he's only got 1 force though. So Dr. E, Aura Singh.
It's like he's looking at Mara too.
I see Mara and P59.
And Snoke. I think Snoke is one of the other cards.
There's a Pride in there too.
Debating if he wants to play that P59 or Mara, looks like. Who's in that stack? So it's Anakin, Yoda. Who else is in that stack? Obi with Saber.
Obi and Leia with gun, right?
Okay. So you might be able to hit Leia with P59. Looks like he opts with Pride instead.
That'll let him command, but command is grabbed. Mike retrieving all the draw their fire. Steve losing Grimtosh. Maybe it's Grimtosh. I don't know. Looks like Grimtosh.
And how good would it be if Mike was flipped here?
So somebody's been swung at. Obi makes the most sense, and he's going to get operated on.
Yeah, this draw's. I couldn't tell if Mike must have canceled the blaster draw. Yeah. So it's just Yoda, Anakin, and Leia versus this huge stack of cards here. Not sure what that sense is doing over there.
Yeah. That's canceling the weapon destiny.
Oh, right.
What has he got? He's got Aura Sing now he can use. Or maybe Kylo if he used Aura Sing first.
So here's another swing. Somebody else getting chopped. So Leia's dead. So now it's just Anakin, Yoda.
Mike draws a 3 or a 2,
Right?
And Steve draws a 5.
But he does get a bunch of attrition because of pride. Not that it matters because Yoda's there, but
I mean, it should be enough to get Anakin, right? Because there's 2 first order characters there, and he drew a 2.
Yep.
Steve having to toss 2 for Kylo. Anakin's gotta go.
Did Mike get 2 Battle Destiny there with pride?
No, there was no resistance character there.
Oh, resistance, right. I'm thinking first order.
And moving the finalizer over in front of the Falcon.
Pretty productive turn for Mike. Baroni doesn't really have a lot going on in his hand. He's got that clash, but it's kind of straighted there because he doesn't have a character or lightsaber anymore. Man, if Steve has to just move Yoda over to the non-battleground, it's going to be rough.
That's not terrible, right? Because you still have 2 battlegrounds because you have Luke and you have space.
Oh, true, yeah. I forgot about Luke at the docking bay.
So he's going to get a drain in of 2 here. So FN and accelerate off the top. If I was paying more attention, I could tell you what's on top of Mike's deck, but
I think it's another we must accelerate.
I think it's multiple 5s there, right?
I can't tell what character that is. Can you?
Is that Din Djarin? No. Yes, Din Djarin.
Is that an AI or something?
I think it's the foil version.
Okay.
Maybe the Reflections 4 version.
So he battled up in space. Interesting.
Well, he's drawn 2 Destiny and a Destiny to Power. Power is a 3. Destiny is a 5 and a 5. Mike's only drawn 1 Destiny. A 4. So Mike must have won that battle. Not to 13 or 10 or whatever it is. But Mike must have won that battle, right? So finalizer 10, power 13 with PV power 9. So he was like 26 power.
It looks like Mike has to lose PV and Steadfast though. Yep.
Yeah.
And Yoda moves over. That's pretty good turn for Baroni too. Now I get to draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, we're getting good games. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, look at all this red. Okay, so there's Ahsoka. So he's still looking for a guy with a lightsaber. No lightsaber. Okay, so I think he drew Finn and... Is that Finn?
No, it's 3PO.
3PO, okay.
Just Mike draining for 2. Has a no escape to get PV back. Base for Thrawn to go on there. And it looks like he's thinking about Snoke as well. Snoke's going to get in the used pile.
If he can clear Baroni, this is big. Yeah, I think he wants that command, right? Yeah. I think that's what he grabbed.
You got to draw 2 Destiny to kill him, right?
Alright, so he battles, retrieves the Steadfast.
He's not going to be able to command, though, because it's grabbed.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't know what Mike pulled from his use pile then.
9 is enough to clear Baroni out of space. And I didn't quite see what Steve drew.
5 and sand. What's sand? 3?
With a weapon lev for the power Destiny.
So we drew a 9 for attrition.
Gonna have to lose probably Snoke and Thrawn, right? I don't know what Snoke forfeits for.
Probably. You're gonna leave PV there?
8, right?
You like PV there instead of Thrawn? I guess he adds a bunch of it.
Yeah, you're immune to more with PV. Yeah, so now that Yoda isn't as good. Someone in chat pointed out he could deploy the 2/2 and teleport Yoda over there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I mean, Mike's draining for free. Should be flipped again.
Yep. Mike just playing on hard mode here.
I pitched the planes. Okay. And Steve just paying a drain and then drawing. Drawing Jar Jar, Anakin, Clash, Wisa, Speak,
and then there's the handshake. So Mike
just can't find characters.
It's a pretty exciting game. Yeah, I think Steve just spun his wheels for too long and didn't have the answers to all those interrupts that Mike had.
Yeah, they both had answers for the interrupts, and then Mike just had more characters, and Steve just ran out of juice.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of decks that. So far, we've seen 4 decks that I wasn't really expecting. I mean, map is always good, but.
Yeah, well, I think the funeral pyre start with Let the Wookiee Win. I think there's probably a couple of those, but doing it without Wookiee Win and doing it with Medical Frigate instead, I think that's probably the only one. Yeah, but then Walkers and Tig are not 2 decks that I had on my radar.
Yeah. Did we see any? Did Mike play any Virtual 17 cards in this map deck? I
don't think there really was anything in 17-4 map. that's probably the same thing he would have played at Worlds or even like Nationals last year.
Looks like Mike is swapping out his defensive shields for some foil ones. Pretty nice.
I think those are the sleeves. Yeah, I'm looking at like Virtual 17, right? I don't think map would play anything. Maybe a BB9, but like that's not even that great for map. Maybe the landing claw canceller. The effect that makes it go out of play. Well, that's really it.
All right, well, we will bring you the next match, which should probably be in the next 10-15 minutes.
They should really nail that when they start.
Looks like we're on the matches will start on the half hour.
Yep, that seems reasonable.
Yep. All right, so we'll be back. I will update the stream.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so.